Hi, my name is Anna Jackson, and I'm a curious mind who wants to meet interesting people. That's why this show is called Whattaya Say with Anna J. So, should we go and meet somebody interesting? Hi, welcome to Whattaya Say with Anna J. And guess what? I'm Anna J. Today, I'm excited because I get to have a really excellent artist who is a winemaker today as my guest. Can we welcome Nikki Calloway? Hello, Nikki.
Hi, Anna.
I said I was a little bit nervous because we never get to sit across from each other and kind of like have a conversation, and now we're doing it with three cameras.
Well, you say that, but also we're very good friends.
I
so,
know.
I think it's just the cameras that are kind of intimidating. I better not be. Definitely not.
No, you come across
good.
as absolutely comfortable. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you because not only, yes, we are really good friends, but you're a winemaker and you're a woman, and I just have never come across that in the Okanagan. So, I mean, can you tell me a little bit about your backstory? Like, where were you born, grew up, and then your journey to Kelowna?
The Okanagan is quite a young region of winemaking, and it's gone through its pioneering phases. And actually, now there's probably, I would say, close to maybe 30-40% female winemakers in the valley. So we have one of the highest percentages, I would say, probably internationally.
But this grew over 10 years then.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's transitioned a lot. I'd probably say in the last 30 years, it's definitely gone on a big roller coaster, and we're continuing on that roller coaster as agricultural does. I am Canadian. I was born in Calgary to Canadian parents, but we moved abroad to the Middle East when I was about 5 years old, and never really expected to be back in Canada. Definitely did not expect to be back in Canada making wine, because for the last 30 years abroad, I never even knew there was a wine region in Canada.
Wow. So where were you when you got interested in wine? Because like you said, you were in the Middle East, and there's not a lot of wine there.
There is not a lot of wine there. It's actually quite illegal in Saudi Arabia, but my lovely mother and father really enjoyed their glass in the evenings every night, so it was quite obvious that we needed to find a solution to this dilemma, and that became
get the daughter to learn how to make wine.
Get the 6-year-old daughter to make wine under the stairs with Dad when he'd come home from work, and we'd buy grape juice from Hungary, bread yeast, sugar, carboys.
That's hilarious.
And kind of played with some winemaking techniques in a very, very rural situation, and made the best we could so that we could enjoy a glass with dinner.
That's hilarious. I love that story. I'm so glad I asked you. So you went to France then, obviously. Where did you learn when you wanted to get further education?
I had a very smart father, and he told both my brother and I that he would help support our education and careers as long as we could prove and demonstrate to him our work ethic and that we were following a passion. We often, work harder than we do live life, and I think if you do not enjoy every single day of work, you're missing out on a big part of the fulfillment and enjoyment of what we're supposed to be doing in our lives. And I was very proud of my father to say that. And at the time I was doing a lot of sciences, microbiology, biology, biochemistry, and even considering going into the medical field, pharmaceuticals. And my dad sat me down one evening, probably after too many bottles of wine, and said, "Nikki, you really have an amazing palate. You love gastronomy, you love culinary, you love wine." At the time, I was teaching wine tasting to a lot of the staff at some of the big hotels in Dubai.
Wow.
And so we got on the phone to a famous winemaker friend of ours in South Africa, and he suggested, because I spoke French, to get my knapsack on my back and find somewhere in France to pick some grapes and figure out my route from there.
Oh my goodness. Well, I know you've won a lot of awards, and some that you have not even been credited for, and I remember those things, but I'm not going to talk about that. But what I do want to say is, now you're working at a winery that is, and I asked you this question, so now I want to ask you again, what makes this one special? Because when we were talking about at Sushi, about how it's a family estate and it's a smaller
I think all the awards and accolades that I've been able to kind of trap and gain and put behind the belt of the wineries that I've worked for has basically just helped the industry continue to grow. And my goal is to get BC on the world map.
Yeah.
And the more that we can make high-end quality wines that, you know, have proven year after year to be consistent quality and can compete with international, you know, brands, that's where we really need to get some more accolades and awards and international recognition. So
I love that
that's my
passion.
big goal, and I think this new project is Rourke Family Estate. It's the newest, not even open winery in Lake Country. And I'm hoping in the next couple of years that we will be open to the public. We are very similar to the northern part of France. So let's compare ourselves to Alsace and Burgundy. So you have a lot of Rieslings, Gewürztraminers, and Pinot Gris, kind of from the Alsatian area. And then the Chardonnays, Pinot Noir, Gamay, from, you know, more of Burgundy. So everything from the northern part of France and even Germany into a little bit of Austria, because we do have a little Gruner Veltliner. So more cooler climate, higher elevations, varietals that we hopefully can really kind of hone in on at our estate and do well.
And you've already started bottling them and resting them for release, or?
Yeah, I was hired on in 2019 to finish the building and commissioning of this new estate and the new winery, which we commissioned in 2020. So I have been at the estate facility since 2020 making wine, which again, we do have stock available for the big day when we do open.
Yeah, and I know we have this this is a big loaded question that I'm going to ask, and we're going to take it over to the second part when we actually get to taste some wine. But
is it noon yet? Can we taste wine yet? It's
yes,
noon somewhere.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
You started in 2019, and then we had an epidemic, and then we had wildfires. Tell me a little bit about what you've had to do in order to kind of keep these things preserved, so that because all we hear right now is the frosts and the fires and the this and the that destroying crop. Like, what's happening? That's
I
what I meant about a big
as
question.
human beings, we like to be in control, and Mother Nature has definitely put us in our place.
Okay.
There is no controlling Mother Nature. She's pretty scary.
Just 1 second. So we're going to be back in our next segment, tasting the wine, and we're going to be talking about what Mother Nature does to a winemaker. See you in a minute. Okay, we're back with Nikki Calloway, and we're talking wine. Now, going into the break, I talked about the devastation of Mother Nature, but Nikki told me, hey, it's not doom and gloom. There is some beautiful sides. And then the sound of a bottle opening to their Pinot Noir made me very happy. So, Nikki, now let's talk about how does a bunch of grapes from a vineyard become this bottle with your help? What?
No, I can't tell you all that. That's my secret. Can you tell me how you became a successful singer?
I could.
I wish I had your voice and I could have had an easier career.
But, oh, yeah. It's so easy, isn't it? But, listen, I can tell you how to sing, but I couldn't give you the passion or the talent. So that's what you have. Everybody can learn the rules of winemaking, but it takes intuition. To me, it takes intuition.
Yeah.
Because
that's a very good point. Yeah.
So now tell me about what was your intuition from seeing the grapes to harvesting them. Like, do you put the grapes separately from the stalks? Like, anyway, just
it's a heck of a lot longer than a 10-minute discussion.
Oh my goodness.
So
okay,
I do suggest everybody on camera to come and visit me. So, for example, you know, I do have a passion. I have a talent. I truly love what I do because there's so many facets of winemaking.
Yeah.
I get to sit and chat with you and drink wine. I get to promote my product and taste with people all over the world.
Yeah.
But I also get to be a farmer. This morning I was out in the vineyards pruning all morning. Yesterday I was in the cellar helping my colleague Stephanie at the Peak. We're getting ready to bottle in a week, so getting the wines prepared.
Yeah.
So it definitely is a career that allows you to dance in many different ways. And it all starts with good vineyards and good grapes. And I would say say a big emphasis of my career, especially as I get older and wiser, is putting most of my time and effort into agriculture, into the soil, into sustainable vineyards, into regenerating that soil so that we're able to keep these vineyards going for years and years, keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And if the vines are happy, then the grapes are happy, then the winemakers are happy, and I don't need to do a lot. I just put them in a tank, and this is what happens.
Gosh, if it was only that easy. Because this bottle, when do you pick the grapes for it, and when do you know?
This is the inaugural vintage at O'Rourke Family Estates.
Oh,
so this
my
is
God.
the first bottle of wine that I made at this new facility in 2020. This is a Pinot Noir, and this is one of my favorites. I think it's a beautiful grape. In the industry, they seem to call it the heartbreak grape, or some people say it's a little bit more of the feminine grape because it shows a lot of attitude.
Oh,
Yes, it's
saucy
not the
thing.
easiest grape to deal with.
Okay.
But
Why? Because it's temperamental in like, it doesn't like it when it's cold, or what?
It's very temperamental, and there's a lot of different personalities that it can show. From the vineyards, it can give you big clusters, it can give you small clusters, it can give you tight berries, fat berries. We can bring it into the cellar like you talked about and take the stems off. We can leave the stems on.
Yeah.
We can ferment it cold. We can ferment it hot. We can keep it in the tank for a
So
month.
it's
We can press it. It's
versatile.
versatile in so many ways.
But yet
and
it's temperamental.
up to me to figure out what temper it wants to give me, and then I've got to do that little dance. If I do something to it and it's not happy, she's going to tell me that. But if we kind of have an agreement and we keep our happiness going together, that's when you end up in the magic with the Pinot Noir.
Oh, the tango
It's
of
the
the
tango
Pinot
of the
Noir.
Pinot Noir.
I love that. The tango. Okay, I've got pictures in my head. Tell me what I'm supposed to do. You poured a little bit in my, and I know that I have to do this, and then I have to smell it. So when I'm smelling it,
Well, I think this is a little cliche, but I love this point. So drinking wine is an art.
Yeah.
It's part of culture. It's a pleasure. And I do believe in stimulating all of our senses. You know, if
Right.
you go to an amazing concert, you want to feel those shingles throughout your whole body, and the senses are overstimulated.
Yeah.
You know, the same when you look at a beautiful piece of artwork, or you travel to an amazing country and you take in everything, including the smells of the streets. So it is said traditionally that the reason we drink wine in glasses such as these is to stimulate all five senses. So obviously you have your eyes stimulated by the color. So you kind of look at the cue in the legs and what the wine does in the glass.
Right.
Your nose with the smell. Your hand with the touch.
and what do you mean the touch?
Well, you're holding the glass.
Am I holding it?
So
Okay.
when you
Oh,
ask
yes,
me
you're
about
feeling
glassware,
something feminine, yeah.
you know, your hand needs to be stimulated. You need to feel as if you are in sense or in a way with the wine. And that's the reason that the glass
So
is
from
so
the dance
important.
in the bottle
Yeah.
and then dance out.
And obviously when you taste, then your palate is stimulated. But the one thing missing is your sense of hearing.
Okay, so what is
that's
that?
why we cheers. So now you have sensorily stimulated all five senses. And of course, the most important are the nose and the palate for winemaking. But without all of that,
You are the most
you're not
interesting
a complete wine
person.
drinker.
If you can talk to me, Nikki, about the wine while I have a off-camera smell, then so tell me about what I'm going to be sipping.
I didn't have an off-camera sip because it's my job for quality control.
Well-
have to make sure the wine's good enough for Anna J over here.
So do tell me, what am I sipping?
When I first made this wine, again, I was at a very young winery. I just built it, and I didn't know the vineyards very well. It takes many years to understand your babies.
Right.
And for the first year or so, when it was in bottle and aging, I would taste it and think, oh, Nikki, you made it too tight. It's too tannic. It's too big. It's too bold. And in the last year, she started to soften, and she showed me that she's a beautiful, elegant wine. So again, be patient with your consuming of wine.
Yeah.
Settle them down, put them in your cellars for a few years, let them get to themselves and get to their own vibe before we actually open the bottle. We have a tendency in North America to drink wines too quickly.
Yeah, we do, because we want to, well, especially during COVID, you just wanted to get it down. But I understand what you meant by it being quite sharp. It hits these points that I love a bit of tart.
And think, Anna, in general, you'd
That
be drinking
sweet
this
tart.
with something to eat. So
Yeah.
again, the fattiness of a piece of cheese or a chip or popcorn if it was a
Right.
aperitif, or even duck or lamb, or a stew of some sort. So I do know that once in a while we enjoy wine without any food, but often wine and food is essential,
Well, I am definitely going to take this.
You missed out on the food.
Camera.
Where's the cooking?
I know, I was going to, but I put it in your rider, and she didn't even send me a rider. So, cheap date, this one. And you're the best to talk to. So listen, we're going to, there's so much to unpack about wine. And Nikki Calloway gave us a piece of her heart. Now, I am going to get to know Nikki Calloway in a very deep level because I ask all these questions.
I thought you knew me well enough.
Not like this.
Oh, no.
We're going to do a questionnaire after the break. We'll see you in a minute with Nikki Calloway. So, we're back from break, and I'm with Nikki Calloway. And, Nikki's been giving herself and her passion and talking about, wine. Now it's time to get to know Nikki, because I have a series of questions that will
could be
get
dangerous.
her.
How about you just drink my wine? Just enjoy my wine and don't worry about getting to know me.
Sit back. Are we
This
ready?
is my pleasure.
It's not that hard, I promise. I'm not going to, it's not really proby, but it's like best sandwich.
I would say a lovely Reuben with a big slice of pickle dolloped with, what's it called? Choucroute in English, sauerkraut.
Oh, sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut.
Oh, I just made some sauerkraut soup. Anyway, okay. What's one thing that you own that you should really throw out?
Okay, nobody can laugh at me, but I may still sleep with my blue blankie, my baby blanket.
From how old?
Since I was brought home from the hospital.
And is it
It's
torn
a rag.
up? Is it big?
Yeah, it's about that big. My mom has sewed it together for years and years.
Yes.
So I probably should not, as an adult, still have my baby blanket. But
Oh, no.
don't tell anybody.
It's our secret. What is the scariest animal?
To me, being a farmer, the scariest animal is the giant Asian hornet. It is a wasp that is now in BC, and it is killing all of our bees.
Oh my gosh.
It's just horrendous, and without bees, we don't have pollination and we don't have agriculture. Yeah.
Apples or oranges?
Can I say apples to eat, orange juice to drink?
Oh, that's smart. No one's ever done that. Okay. Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
No, but can I ask you for yours?
Oh, boo. So smarmy, because I said that I want her to sign that bottle so that my cat's owners can get a lot of money when these blow up and you're the most famous person in the world. Okay. What do you think happens when we die?
We obviously go back into the soil one way or another
We're farmers.
Exactly, and we push back up and we keep the cycle going. We become a mushroom or a plant or a tree and get eaten, and we all just keep
But what
this
about
whole
our
cycle.
personalities and our souls?
They keep on forever with friends and loved ones.
Ah, that's very nice. And photographs and television shows.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite action movie?
I don't watch a lot of action movies, so I'd have to
neither do
probably
I.
say, when I was younger, Indiana Jones. I remember those a lot. The Last Crusade, because it was in Jordan, and I grew up in the Middle East, so I always
You
remember that
have
one.
very good taste. You get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. So what is it?
This one was not easy, because can you imagine Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark for the rest of
I
your
hope
life?
you're not 7, but because maybe a
But a lot of
7-year-old.
songs remind me of that. They just go over and over and over in your head, so it would have to be a song that you could tolerate.
Yeah.
So I do really enjoy French music.
Okay.
I love when French people sing. It just
I know.
rolls a lot better sometimes than English. So I think I would go with an oldie. I'd go with Jacques Brel. I'd go with Ne me quitte pas.
Oh, ne me quitte pas.
Because I think it's just so...
Oh, and even in French, the way you say it, because that I don't regret it, or
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Yeah, it doesn't, smooth.
And it's
as
not
nice
sad,
as
but it's
ne me
not
quitte pas,
overly
it's almost
positive.
onomatopoeic.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Least favorite smell.
Least favorite smell probably is because I have quite a heightened sense of smell, is I really can't stand when people wear too much perfume or too many smells.
Chanel on today.
Chanel's okay, but like patchouli or really heavily dense incense. That kind
I remember that. I won't wear perfume around you. But what's your favorite smell?
Again, agriculture, walking through a vineyard or an apple orchard or a cherry orchard just when the blossoms have just bloomed. That fresh blossom smell.
God, you're so romantic. I'm going to write a book about it.
I'm just a farmer.
Flat or sparkling?
Sparkling. Need zest in our lives, don't we, Anna?
Thank you. Always. Well, I've got you for a friend. I just have to be more zesty to just like whiff around you. Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
That's not fair because there's too many good words. I would say friendship.
Yeah.
Fun. Culture. Health. What else am I? Gastronomy. Wine.
Of course.
Wine.
Of course.
BC wine in particular.
Good girl. So what number am I thinking of right now? Look at me.
4.
No, 59. I don't know why. And last question before we get to know Nikki really well. Do you think that Kelowna needs a new performing arts center?
That's a hard one for me because, of course, I love the arts and culture and performing arts, and yes, definitely we do. But Dennis O'Rourke at O'Rourke Family Estates is building his own performing arts center. So yes, Kelowna needs one, and it better be just as good as the one in Lake Country.
So thank you for hanging out with us. I have had absolutely the best day because Nikki Calloway is my guest. Thank you, Nikki. Is there anything that you want to say?
I just want to say to all consumers to please enjoy BC wine. Go and support your favorite wineries. Go find your favorite winery. We have a lot of wine that we want to share with you, and we're crazy passionate people that love our careers and our vineyards, and we would love to share all of that with you because art and wine and culture and friendship all combine together. And so I really do hope you bring your family, your loved ones.
Well, now I have to drink more wine. See, I was going to give it up, and now I have to drink more. But thank you very much for hanging out with us this time on Whattaya Say with Anna J. and Nikki Calloway.
Cheers.
See you later. Cheers now.